All right, Lee, I know what we're watching now. Being that it's St. Patrick's Day, of course, we got to watch something with an Irishman in it.
All right.
You got 3 hours to kill?
Oh, no.
We're going to watch Leprechaun 4 twice. All right, guys, here we're going to talk about Leprechaun 4. Leprechaun in Space, 1996. Are you familiar with it?
I was not.
But you are now.
I'm all too familiar. Yeah, I mean, every series has a point where it's time to go to space.
That's very true.
And this was the 4th movie, and this was when they decided we need to go to space now.
Yeah. You would watch this movie thinking, wow, this movie is way more ridiculous than the other one. This must be a totally new writer. Nope.
Wow, okay.
So Warwick Davis is back to play the Leprechaun in the 4th installment. They've been cracking these suckers out like every year up to this point.
Okay.
So he's ready to go. This is before he really like popped off and blew. He had been in Star Wars and stuff, so obviously he had a little bit of street cred.
Sure. No, I was kind of shocked number 4 still him. Makes sense though. I think you need him to like do it, right? So
he wrote it out up until the new ones.
Okay.
Like the origin one. He was in Leprechaun on the Hood, Leprechaun on the Hood 2.
Yeah, like I remember the first one. I remember liking it a lot and being really into it, like older horror movie thing as like a kid. Then I remember some time going by, living my life, becoming aware of Leprechaun in the Hood or whatever, and being like, oh no, and then like not paying attention to that series too much. I think I saw 2 and/or 3, but it was a long time ago. I like forget. So
2 is him searching for the wife. 3 is him going to Vegas.
Okay.
And this is where it jumps the tracks, jumps the shark, derails, whatever you want to say, where like his powers become inconsistent with what he's done before.
Okay.
And it's fantastic.
No, once you've been to Vegas, there's nowhere else to go but space in a
it's very true.
Intergalactic mission stuff, yeah.
All right, guys, so we're not going to dilly-dally here. We're going to jump right into the spoiler sections. If you've seen this or don't care, follow us over there. And if not, pull out now.
If you need a place to rent content, you better listen. We're Cannibal Video and we eat the competition.
All right, so here we are for the spoilers of Leprechaun 4, Leprechaun in Space. This movie has a lot of elements that remind me of Dracula 3000.
Neat.
In that they're like, in a larger than like, ever possible ship that doesn't make sense for the like amount of people. Like, and we didn't see their real ship that much. But in this one, you see like this is the ship they came in on, and at the most there's like 11 people on the ship.
Yeah, I mean there's a weird thing going on there, but yes, definitely. I'm glad to hear you making comparisons to other things, which I also want to do. But and when we talk,
it also has like weird racism for like no reason. Like that's like super far into the into the future. We're like, it's weird that they're still making like slavery jokes and things like that.
I did not notice the racism.
Oh, okay. There's a part where and I forget his name, Sharps or Sticks or whatever his name was. Higgs. I don't remember his name.
The voodoo guy from Scooby-Doo.
Well, here's a clue. Purple is a fall color. It's the middle of May.
Pardon?
Yes, him. He was also in a show called The Faculty. I think that's the first thing that I got into him with in like the early, maybe 98, 96, something like that. But that guy's character, he did one of the kind of yes, master type of thing when they're in like the tubes.
Lordy, Mr. Daniels, it sure be dark in here.
Laugh it up, wise guy. It won't be so funny when that little bastard shoves a laser up your ass.
Ooh, a laser up my ass? Oh, come on, feet. Don't fail me now.
Sure.
They even do a period-based throwback where it's like, who's driving this ship? Ray Charles?
Oh, damn. Who's driving this, Ray Charles?
Sorry.
That was a weird little off the like camera weird like dubbed in like joke thing. Yeah, I mean I don't think that's racist.
No, that one wasn't pretty. But that was just funny because it's like, what year are we in?
Exactly.
Ray Charles is who we're still citing as the blind guy, not someone I've never heard of. Like who's driving this? The Bicky Lot 8? Like
Chancellor Ubeck.
Yeah. Strange.
Yeah, but we've talked about going to space. I think that people go to space, franchises go to space with mixed results often.
Yeah. I'd say usually bad.
Definitely, I'm okay for a space thing. I remember Hellraiser going to space and Critters, ironically, which is about aliens like going to space. And as like a young person, I did not read. Like I could have watched 12 movies to like prepare for this, but I did not do that. As a young person, I was often a fan of when we go to space, and when you're not really paying attention, the first few movies can kind of blur together. Where it's just like, oh, they're here and then they're there, I guess. It's the same kind of thing.
Certainly a difference when the space setting happens.
That's why they do it, I think, because you can see the thing. What is this? Oh my God!
I think it's trend hopping.
Yeah.
Where like dinosaurs were popular for a while, then it's ninjas and robots, and space was the late 90s.
Yeah, it was time to go to space. We had to do a space chapter. Jason was in space, right? And those are often bad, as you say, but I like them. They're fun on some
I like
level,
sets
right?
and I like space and I like aliens and different things, learning about weird stuff. And this does that, but it also has the jumping of everything you already know and changing that dramatically, where he's not just this leprechaun and he has weaknesses of iron and four-leaf clovers. And this, it's like, well, he's essentially like your vampires in space, where now he's immortal because there's no four-leaf clovers here, and we don't use iron, we use space metals and stuff.
But they don't do that.
They don't.
They just sort of.
But he also has become omnipotent. Like he just does whatever he wants.
Thank you. You saved my life.
And conveniently for them, doesn't just choose to blink them out of existence.
So it had been a long time since I had seen any leprechauns.
Okay.
And I was like, was I just right? Because I remember like he wants his gold, and if you have his gold, he's like trying to get it back or something. Yeah. And yes, the four-leaf clover. I'd forgotten about the iron thing. That's really interesting. But yeah, I remember there being rules, and like we have to defeat him, we have to lure him here and do something or whatever. And this one, it just seemed like he's a trickster god who if you're
he's kind of Loki.
Like if you're lucky, he won't just instantly kill you. He just prefers to mess with you.
Hold it right there, Pilgrim. I'm not gonna hurt ya. Nah, I'm not gonna hurt ya. The hell I'm not.
And that's his whole shtick.
Because he can will things into existence, he can change your mind and make you a slave.
What is your malfunction, Sticks? I can't go on like this. I can't hear you.
So there's no real winning because there's no rules. You just win by luck.
The fact that they do win is crazy.
Yeah.
And they don't
it's
even
already
win.
been established that hey, he didn't really die.
No.
So we're in spoilers. So he gets sucked out into an airlock and the vacuum of space explodes him.
Completely fell apart, didn't he?
But he's still alive.
He's fine.
He flips them off.
Yeah. And that exact thing, and they know that's the whole point. But everyone's celebrating he's trapped in space now, and I'm like, is he? He's a magic little man. Can't he just do whatever he wants? Yeah.
He's lucky no one peed on him in space, or else he'd get sucked into their dick and just pop back out.
My kill. Get to add the final touch. Pure Rocky Mountain spring water.
Death from above. Let it ring.
Oh, shit!
In my notes, I have they go to the planet, they quote unquote kill the leprechaun, his head is still alive.
That's not funny.
But he still hitches a ride on one of the soldiers' dicks to get back.
Yeah.
And then he grows him a new body. It's the whole chain of events to get us to where we need to be.
That bit in my head was better than it was in actuality. So I don't know the last time I saw this, but it left a memory in my head of him growing and bursting out of the guy.
Yeah.
And he really just pops out of a hole in the floor like hey.
Let that be a lesson to you, lad. Always wear a prophylactic.
Yeah, he just comes
you should
out.
wear prophylactics, kids.
He just comes out from between his legs.
Yeah.
And is kind of ha, it's your penis, and just does a thing. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah.
But in my head, it was he comes out wet like a newborn baby and chest bursts out of this guy's dick. That would have been great. Didn't do that.
I would like.
A lot of this does remind me of a Power Rangers episode because of how the attention to sets and characters and weird shit happening. I like it though because it's goofy, it's offsetting, and there's some fun characters to be had in this movie.
Wait. Come again?
Did you catch the lady the lady space soldier. I don't know what you call them, or Marine, whatever they are. She's Heidi from Home Improvement.
Really?
I didn't catch that, but I looked it up and I saw it, and I was like, you can't front like you knew that. Don't even mention that. But yes, awesome, right? Yeah. So this was this her being like, I'm an actress, I can do more than just be Heidi.
Well, this is after, so like this is she would still have been, I think Home Improvement ran until 2000 2001 or something like that. So, but she would have been hot off of that. Like, look, I'm an actress, I can do this thing. No nudity for you. Like it seemed like that part where I'm like, oh God, what's Heidi gonna do?
Yeah, I mean, she was not that bad. I thought she was fine.
No, she was fine.
Yeah. I don't believe she had a long, illustrious career after this.
She's still acting.
But,
she's been on a couple of shows.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you know, Heidi's Heidi. She was the replacement for Pamela Anderson.
Yeah.
We got what we got. But in this movie, you have some interesting guys. You have like Chrome Head Dude.
I'm looking for Sergeant Hooker.
Well, you found him. I'm busy. What the fuck do you want?
When you said, did you catch, I thought you were going to mention Sergeant Hooker, a metalhead, chrome head hooker man. Yeah. So I was like, who is this guy? I know you from somewhere. What's going on? And I like creeped his IMDb and I figured it out.
And what do you know him from?
I know him as Full Metal Jacket. He's the guy. He's credited as door gunner, but he's the guy when they're when they're on the helicopter and he's shooting everyone.
Okay.
And they're like, how do you shoot women and children? And he goes, just don't lead them as much.
How can you shoot women, children?
Easy. You just don't lead him so much.
And he says lines in this. He says, get some, and certain stuff like that he says. I went back and like found that scene on YouTube, and I was like, he's the guy. That's the thing. Because I'm like, no, like I know him from somewhere. This is crazy, and I was like, I'm gonna keep.
Is it even
searching.
crazier to see him in a dress?
He was standing on the corner of 31st and Main.
Well, so his character takes some turns.
Takes a lot of turns.
Takes some twists and turns.
Very, very weird to me, like, because this whole thing. So, he gets, like, blinked into, like, being a slave of this guy.
That is none of your business, you impertinent moron. You really are beginning to annoy me. Not a wise idea, as you...
Mental slave, but still has his faculties, it appears, in the beginning.
Bullshit! Blow his brains out!
Because he'll shout stuff like, run, get away, right?
Things
Something
like that. And I'm
yeah.
like, okay. And then he's like, a lady in drag, performing and punching and doing his thing as he sings his song.
Sarge?
Then he pulls out nunchucks and he's doing his fucking thing there.
Nunchucks!
And then all of a sudden, an old school like World War I rifle gets popped into the fucking frame.
This is far too violent. Shut up, you pussy!
And he's bayoneting people.
Yeah.
Until he kills himself.
Come on, you bastard! Come on!
That for me dipped into like the nunchucks. I was like, okay, now we're talking. Now I'm into this.
When he just ditched him and got his ass kicked by that girl who said she knows karate, I was like, oh, okay.
For your information, Sergeant, I happen to have a black belt in karate.
She knows karate though.
It was like the worst karate, but
Listen, movie karate.
It wasn't even like cut to a stunt woman and do some moves. It was like, what can you do? You can lift your leg high enough, right? Yeah, that's fine.
Man. At that point, I was no longer. I was like, let's just see what happens. But this is the scene you're mentioning where he can just change someone's.
Yeah.
Like this is the whole thing that always happens, where it's like, why are you hiding and luring people over to drop things on their heads when you can just be like, we're done. All right. It's because he's like, I'm bored. I just want to enjoy myself and I'll just do whatever. But that makes you feel like, as an audience member, perhaps, like, well, if he just says, oh wait, I could actually lose. And then just like would not lose.
You'd think
right?
at the moment like the airlock door is being open and being sucked out, he'd be like doop and just like teleport himself somewhere else or something.
Yeah.
Very, very weird. Or just go boom and the door would close.
Or just be replaced with like grapes or something and just
a force
like,
field even, anything.
He can make force fields.
Yes.
What are you doing, you fool? We need that thing to escape.
Yes, my queen. But first, We must find me gold. The force field is to make sure no one leaves without us.
This is established. This is canon.
Very
And he
strange.
says, the force field is because we're going to come back later. Like, he does the whole thing. Like, he even knows what a force field is.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I would love
He's
an
been
explanation
around.
of how he got into space in the first place, because that's
Okay.
not ever established. It's not like he gets launched off into space in the third one.
I am glad. So, like I said, I don't know the second or third, like, at all, I think. If I saw them, it was too long ago. So I was going to ask you, as the resident expert for a lot of these things.
I
like,
haven't seen that
is
third one
this-
probably since I was a child. So
Okay.
I won't say that I will say definitively he doesn't get launched into space, but I have no memory of him getting launched into space.
Yeah, or like left somewhere where that would be later taken to
I
space.
don't think so.
Yeah, because this feels like the future, obviously, for
Yeah.
various reasons. And he's just in space,
Mm-hmm.
and he has a whole thing like, I want to be a king, and you're the princess,
Yeah.
this whole stuff. I'm like, what is happening here?
The path to power is often soiled with innocent blood, and I will let nothing stop me from becoming a king. I'll have power and glory, and a beautiful queen to share it with.
Like, what
And
are we
that's like
doing?
his cave where he brought
Yeah.
her to. It wasn't that wasn't her planet.
Right.
He brought her to his planet where he has a cave with gold in it and stuff. So you're
One
like,
table.
what is this? And one like terrible shot of like gold, freeze framed like staticky gold.
I'll make you rich beyond your wildest dreams.
Oh, really?
Yes, really.
And like gems and stuff,
Yeah.
like when Aladdin goes into the cave and sees.
And
like,
canonically, he's not a gem guy. He's a gold guy.
Exacto mundo. Well, he knows she would like gems. See,
I
it all
guess.
makes sense. See,
She was
you
on
were worried.
Baywatch, the one that played like Princess whatever.
Yeah.
And she's interesting, you know, to like introduce an alien race that has the ability to like, you know, regrow
Yeah.
limbs and do stuff. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Impossible.
No, Harold. It is not impossible. Her tissues have regenerated.
She gets her tits out. That's pretty cool too.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
That is
Yeah.
that is how they say you're going to be put to death. Is they expose their bare breasts.
Like-
Unspeakable pain awaits you.
Yeah, what hurt me first?
Look upon them and know that you are forever doomed.
The black
It's the
spot.
kiss
It's like
of
the
death.
kiss of death.
Yeah.
The boob's kiss of death.
Indeed.
Yeah, but her regeneration powers catch the eye of our mad scientist who's on the station or the ship or
Yes.
whatever.
And I love
And,
this dude before you see his whole thing.
Is that clear?
With all due respect, sir.
Thank you for understanding. Carry on.
When he's just this guy on the telescreen
Hmm. Yeah.
that like RC cars its way around, and it's how he sneaks into like,
There's this,
hello.
there's a scene where like a refrigerator like sidles up behind his like lackey
Yeah.
guy Harold, and the screen goes ka-chunk and turns on. He's like, "What are you doing?" And it's this like amazing.
when he's
yeah,
like
yeah.
removing the medical mesh and like touching up that
That's amazing. Yeah, I loved all that. I actually like this character a lot, kind of overall. I hear you that his like design is bad because he's like that Captain Pike from Star Trek.
Holy shit.
Oh my god.
Dr. Mittenhand, you look much taller in person.
Thank you, Harold.
Where he's in like a big thing, that giant Roomba that just kind of slides around
Yeah.
or whatever. And there's just a dude in there, and he has one
You
arm.
can even
or
see
whatever.
his other arm.
Oh yeah.
It's like behind his back, like he's just like talking like he's like I don't know, like Napoleon or some shit. Like his arm's just like this, and you can see his fingers poking out from the other side of his back.
Damn.
Not in every scene, but if it happens once, it's too much.
Just someone who's as observant as you.
Oh, and you can see booms in this movie.
Oh.
You can see wire teams in this movie. Like when the
Okay.
leprechaun gets pulled out of the crotch, you can see the wire.
Gotcha, bitch.
Probably like the 3/4 in, maybe like an hour and so in, there's a boom just like in the corner of the shot.
Take a bite out of this!
Just like just sitting there, and I'm like, that's the boom. And then like twice, I think before that, I was like, I thought I caught the boom, but in that one it was there for so long that I was like, that's the boom.
That's just the boom.
Yeah, a couple times from the top, I was like, maybe that was a shadow, but I think that was the boom.
Yeah, like shadows or like it's weird. It's like a space set. There's weird tubing or something. You don't want to indict them yet, right?
Speaking of space sets, how'd you like that? They go into that what'd you call that? It was like the incinerator room of like flesh.
It's filled with flesh-eating bacteria.
Mooch! You're up!
Hey, now, whoa, now, wait a minute. What the hell you mean, flesh-eating bacteria?
I mean, it's how they dispose of the organic waste.
Like, what is that, and why would that be
full
a
of
thing?
flesh-eating
And
bacteria.
the fact that the leprechaun's in there in a suit too.
Give me the princess, and I'll spare your miserable lives.
Come out, you little bastard!
You're like, what?
Well,
You're magic.
Leprechaun needs a suit. Otherwise, his flesh would be eaten by the bacteria.
I guess. How about the fact that he does a cane sword and a cane lightsaber at 2 different points?
Oh God, the lightsaber. I want that. I feel like if that clip was like an animated GIF that was out there, it would just be like breaking people's brains or something. Seeing the leprechaun like behind a dude going and having like a lightsaber.
Yeah.
Like it's devastating.
I almost would have liked that scene to play out where he didn't realize what even happened.
Let's talk about safety in the workplace. Oops.
Because when he swipes him, he's like, ah! He screams like he's being cut.
Yeah.
And I wonder if it was always a lightsaber, if they painted that over the sword. Because
Nice.
they could have. There was no establishing thing. Later on, it's just a sword.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lightsaber, I know in movies they scream, but I feel like it would just be cutting and cauterizing instantly with light that you wouldn't even feel it.
No, that would hurt a lot.
I don't think you'd feel it.
It would hurt a lot.
Why do you think that?
Because it's very painful to have something cauterized.
No, but how it's what you're cauterizing with. What we cauterize things with is like, that's a burning hot thing.
Yeah.
This is like plasma.
This is like the hottest thing. You would actually explode instantly. It would actually just
There's no
destroy
such thing
you.
as exploding.
Yes.
Speaking of exploding, when he explodes when he goes into space, did you catch that happens on set? Like,
What do you mean?
It cuts the frames of him exploding are clearly him just in the cargo bay. There's like a piece of like an instrument here and a box and a whatever.
Okay.
You can see the wall. It goes from like stars to a wall to stars again real quick.
I knew that they were just kind of manipulating and stretching like a picture of the leprechaun, but yeah, you're saying that it's just
during the actual explosion.
Yeah, but it's just from earlier in that thing. That
I think they
chamber,
definitely
right.
filmed it on set, not in front of a green screen.
Yeah.
They was like, we'll be fine. It's an explosion, whatever.
No, it's a really goofy effect, right? When he's exploding, because like the vacuum of space is killing me,
Yeah.
right? That whole thing, yeah.
Kind of like, is that how that would happen? I think you just freeze.
I don't know. I've never been to space.
I've been twice, but I didn't take good notes.
Yeah. Did your blood boil and your eyes like pop out of your head and your lungs turn inside out?
Not
or
that I can
whatever?
remember.
Okay.
I was a little drunk.
Like you said though, no notes.
Yeah.
We can't be sure.
Brooks, are you all right?
It's Mooch.
This like military cruise ship has a club with no bouncer, no bartender, no nothing. It's just like a club.
Yeah, there's only 10 people on this whole ship.
Exactly.
So,
But
yeah.
when like Cook or Hook or whatever the fuck the main character's name is, Hooker, gets up.
Oh
Books.
Wait. I thought you meant the other guy. Okay. Yeah.
So Books like gets up and he's going to talk to the scientist lady, and like the guy Mooch, who is what you'd think he was.
It's great. Very appropriate.
Is like, oh yeah, dude, give me a drink too, and a sandwich and a pack of cigarettes or something. Blah blah blah.
Let me get a refill, guys. Oh, hey, give me one too. And bring me back a sandwich, will you, Books? Oh, and a pack of cigarettes, menthol blues. I'll get you later, babe. Hey, bro. What? He ain't coming back for a while. Huh? He ain't coming back for a while.
There's no one there. Who are you getting these things from? You just pick them up and walk away. I was like, what's happening here?
You're like a crazy person with this stuff. No, like it's so bad that it's honestly difficult to tell if it's just supposed to be that there's 10 people there and there's like a vending machine where you hit buttons and it like puts drinks out or something.
They should have done a robot.
Stefan, that sounds like that would
In
cost
this movie,
money.
it would be a dude spray painted silver. He'd be like, I'm a robot. That'll be 10 credits.
Do you know how much spaceship spray paint costs? Etc.
$4
No, the club's very sad. It has that look like in a movie. It's literally just each of the actors you already have on like a tiny table, and like a tiny bar. That's
two dudes dancing with each other. You're like, what is this?
That's allowed.
It's allowed, but it's so it like almost emphasizes how like weird and shitty things are, because. If you were to be like, oh, we're on a frigate, this is meant for 3,000, but there's only the 11 of us because this is like a something mission, or they mention how their tour ends at midnight that night.
Our contracts expire at midnight tonight. I am sure a bonus of some kind can be arranged.
We signed on for 30 days. Legally,
We are free agents as of midnight tonight.
Maybe it's been like, okay, we're about to decommission the whole ship. We're on a skeleton crew because everyone else has been going home slowly. We're the last of it. No, you can't keep us here. We'll pay you an extra $100,000. All right, like something like that could have been
like
peppered in.
And if you are in a situation, whether you intended it or not, where things look bad, I only have these 10 people, then you'd want to do something like that.
Yeah.
And write it in or use it in some way to do something, right?
One extra. Because like you don't have a chef, like there's no cook, there's no nothing. Like you're on a spaceship that you didn't even know the guy that like runs your mission is on the spaceship. You thought there was just like a lackey and a medical supervisor. Yeah. So who else could be hiding on this ship?
Well, even then, like I don't even like she has to introduce herself. She's like, I'm Doctor Whatever.
Yeah, and he's very obviously like, we have a female of the species.
We got a female of the species. Says she's assigned to our search and destroy mission.
You have a girl in your platoon. Like, what do you mean? Like it's the first time you're seeing a lady.
Well, she's a female of the species. The other one, it's like in Aliens, where she's like, where it's like, hey Martinez or whatever. You ever been mistaken for a man? She's no, have you?
Hey Vasquez, have you ever been mistaken for a man?
No. Have you?
And it's awesome, yeah. 'Cause she's like earned her place amongst the bros and all. No, it's a mess. Obviously, what you're getting at, I totally like agree with you. I have no like soft spot or love for any of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I do have one thing that I liked about this movie.
What's that?
Dr. Mittenhand or whatever. Real quick, Mitten in hand means with one hand. And he's got one hand.
Later, he changes his name to Mitten Spider.
I am no longer Mittenhand. I am now Mitten Spider.
Well, because he becomes a spider.
Yeah. That
Imagine
means one
that.
spider.
that means with spider, which he is. So I liked the whole thing. I thought his over-the-top stuff was great. I thought that later, like how the Leprechaun does what he does to him, like that was like, oh, I'm fucking with you. Oh, you think you're so smart with your fucking arachnids and your shit, and he starts doing, and like the dude like screaming like, you're fucking everything up. This is my chance to have like a body and not die and all that other stuff, right? I thought he like he really leaned into it. This like Werner Herzog look, you know, looking weirdo dude or whatever, and then gets injected and the whole stuff happens.
Let's see if we can't get this through your thick skull, Doctor.
And then the practical creature effect work stuff of the big, ugly, weird spider dude.
Too big almost.
Shit like hanging off of him and weird. His one arm's different than his other. Like he looked like a
one antenna. No antenna.
He looked like a mess, like you would see in like The Fly when like you like
definitely.
accidentally did a thing or whatever.
Corruption of genes and bullshit.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
They made him gigantic. Where like someone walks past him at one point. I'm like, how would you not notice him?
Yeah.
He has his like spider webs all through a like tiny access tunnel that I'm like, he couldn't actually get in there. Like that doesn't make any sense.
Yes.
And then he's like popping up through various parts of like her in that air duct and grabbing at her and like rips her pants off and shit. And then when she opens the door to go into that thing, he's like in there. And you're like, how did this happen? I love
the geography's played with a little loosely, obviously.
A little fast and loose. I love that the one dude who's like, I need help with this password because he just got tied up and like running out of time.
Come on, guys, hurry up! I need help! Now hurry up!
Yeah.
And he's like, I need help! And then finally the scientist girl comes in and he goes, get out of here!
Stacks!
Tina, get out of here! Go back! There's a big ugly motherfucking body! Go back! Get out!
What's happening?
Look out, Tina!
The whole time he's been asking for help. Yeah.
Not from you, bitch.
The whole time he's been asking for help. Like, he was already tied up. He knew of this spider monster.
That's
amazing. And then when she actually comes to help, get out of here, there's a spider monster.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Can't have it both ways.
Save yourself. There's a spider monster.
Or how about his reaction? He like turns, just like throws his hat at it when he gets attacked. Ah!
Does he?
Yeah.
Man.
What happened to you?
Okay.
Because I imagine he didn't know what it was going to be when they filmed that scene or something, or I don't know. Even
Are they
when
ever
she
in the same screen together? I guess not. Maybe not.
I don't know if they are actually. And they freeze it with some like liquid nitrogen stuff. And
yeah, that's pretty horrible.
He like freezes. And then in the next frame, he's white because they couldn't like risk spraying white on him, I guess, during the scene.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yes, that's very. They spray like a mist on him.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Arr!" and he's like, "Help me!" and all that stuff. So, that's a reference. Perfect. Okay.
I did like all
They were
that.
going for that. No, like that's if you're going to space and things are going to be bad. I want that. I want a twisted where he's like, I still retain some of my humanity, like eating flies.
Where would flies have come from?
The leprechaun.
The leprechaun. Don't.
He smells very bad.
Leprechaun flies. That I was like, he's like, I can't think of the password. Flies, flies, and then you hear, I'm like, what?
I have to remember the code. Bring me flies. No, no! I must save the ship. My work.
What?
Yeah.
In space?
What?
It's gonna be the only place there are flies. Just space.
Just
On our
space?
garbage barges.
Yeah, we're gonna bring flies into the entire galaxy. I feel like.
I believe it. If there's anything we can spread, it's the coronavirus and flies.
Exactly.
What I want is everything.
One of my favorite lines in this movie is when the leprechaun is talking about his bride. He's like, I'm gonna wed her, bed her, and dead her all in the same night.
I'll wed her, bed her, and bury her all in the same day.
I wonder if her father will pay for the wedding and the funeral.
Yeah.
I wonder if her father will pay for the wedding and the funeral.
Even though his plan was to kill the father
don't.
before the wedding.
Does he say her the father or something else? I don't know what he says.
does say that.
He says
but
that?
earlier he says that was planned. It's like, I'm going to kill her. And she goes, that's my father. I'll kill him.
My father may not want to give up the throne.
No problem. I'll kill him.
How dare you? He's my father. I'll kill him.
I kind of liked that too. Her, Her like turn to like. She's like, oh, you disgusting little monster. And then later she's like, okay, let's go. Let's do this thing.
Her whole arc didn't make a lot of sense to me in general because she lives. She's alive at the end. She just passes out.
The king is dead. Long live the queen.
and then like our main character, Books or whatever, is making out with Lady Biologist. And you expect that him and her will be like making out or something, and she was just like, he'll make some sort of joke in the year 48,000 of like once you go black you never go back, like something like that, because that's what would be in line with what this movie's doing.
You expected that?
I did.
My God, when they forgot about her, I forgot about her. There was no more to even think about that at all. I was just like, yes, she's gone. She didn't film anything else. We're done or something.
Well, that's what happened.
But you were right. Like he says some line, and then they clarify. No. When you see her tits, that's her like sealing your death.
Don't get too excited, boys. On the planet Dominia, when a woman of royal blood shows you her breasts, it's a death sentence.
He's like, what part of her anatomy is she gonna use to kill me? Like, yes. Like that's kind of cool.
It's a death sentence.
And what part of her anatomy is she gonna kill me with?
And he shows interest,
and
so
that would set up the whole thing. Yeah.
Exactly.
They do not pay that off.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
It has a better ending than some space movies we've seen, but
agree.
But it ultimately, like, the whole movie felt really fast and loose. Where
it's interesting. Like, it's a normal length of a movie.
Yeah.
And things get set up like the stupid. Like, we should clarify that when the leprechaun is pulled out into space, he's also been made giant.
Yes.
And these
I blew up the leprechaun.
This is some of the like the most. I don't even know what to call it. Difficult, like sequences where it's the giant leprechaun walking around.
Some of them are
and
really
stuff.
bad.
Total destruction of this vessel will occur in 7 minutes.
Because they're green screen, but some of them are miniatures, and those are pretty good.
I'll get ya.
I always love a miniature.
Yeah.
But this is a whole drawn out, like, now he's big, and that's worse somehow. And I'm like, he's an unstoppable
Like, it
atomic
seems
monster.
like he could have made himself big at any time he wanted to.
Exactly.
It also seems like he's like forgets he has superpowers when he becomes big. He's like,
Yeah.
now I will crush you with my bare hands and my heel. Is he on there? No, I didn't get him.
Yeah.
And he dicks around in that room for so long just hiding from him, and I'm like, get the fuck out of there. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like drawn out. It feels weird, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because they were still fighting spiders and shit. They had set up to do.
I had to go back and forth, yeah.
A lot of bullshit happening at that moment. Like, this is Warwick Davis. Like, he's like a real actor, but he's also in like 6 Leprechaun movies, just doing this weird shit.
Doing
and like
his
for
thing.
at least 3 of them, it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, a paycheck. I get you.
No, and this is very like, I mean, that's, so like, as always, that is the answer. That's the
Yeah.
real answer. But yeah, it seems very, I don't know how the people, like you said, like the same writer, like the people with the rights to Leprechaun go like, we're going to space and we're throwing away all the rules or something like that.
And unless I
right?
looked at it quick, and maybe there's credit as writer because they created the character and
Oh.
it carries on to each of them. Maybe that's a
Yeah,
possibility.
that could be it.
I didn't look at it very well.
That would make a lot more sense
It
and
would.
honestly like work out a lot better because I feel like Leprechauns, I guess the unique part of it became that it's Warwick Davis and
Yes.
it's this hammy like I'm the Leprechaun
Yeah.
and that's the whole thing. But really, the real cool part is that, like, how does he work? What are his things? Oh, he's gotten some more gold back, and he's more powerful now, or whatever, right?
Yeah,
like,
that would have been a cool thing. Like,
yeah.
to watch him just like, oh, he took over a mining plantation on this
Yes.
asteroid, and it's so powerful. And now that's why you can do all this fucking crazy shit.
Maybe that's what it's meant to be. Because
If that's what it's meant to be, there was no reason to believe that.
They don't do it
No.
well or like do it at all. But yes, like I was just thinking about that. Like, oh, maybe we need gold for some like technology purpose, and that's what
Gold
like,
is the mana
attracts
he
him.
burns off while
Yeah.
using magic.
Well, like or the flip side, like, oh well, gold's very rare on Earth, but on other planets it's like super common, and that's a whole element of what's happening here, right?
He has disrupted the galactic mining operation to a tune of $500 million.
Or like you said, just the fact that he's somewhere else. You could do anything with the vampires in space
Yeah.
rules, with iron or other things that have like an impact on them. We
Sure.
could have worked those things in and made something interesting happen.
If your weakness are things go places, those weaknesses don't exist.
Yeah.
But-
Well, and like he could have had to fight a man that's revealed to be like an android, and there's like metal in him, and that could be a thing that does like do something, right?
Yeah.
And it could all play in, and then like you could achieve all the same results, but fans of like this original thing would go, oh shit, that's so
nice
cool.
Payback for the
A
fans.
neat little thing is in there, right?
We don't have too much of that. We have just a lot of outlandish shit. But that is
Yeah.
that is the reason why this movie is worth watching and is fun, because it's so off the wall, just bananas. You don't get that in a lot of other franchises. When they get to their bad point, they just become bad. This one
Oh.
went bad in a totally different direction. You know what I mean?
Yeah, certainly not like boring.
No.
Per se, right? Kind of scuffed. Did you see the budget? It's like $1.5 million, right?
Well, I think it's 1.6.
1.6.
Yeah, 1.6.
And it's boasting a 0/21, I think, on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I did catch that.
Yes,
No
so
critic
like,
reviews at all.
None, or just like not enough to get a rating. I never checked that.
I thought after like 5 you get a rating.
Yeah.
And it had, I think, 6 or something.
It had like, yeah. So like
maybe it's 10 to get
so
a
like so it doesn't have enough to even qualify for
Yeah.
a critic rating and all that stuff, which is it's older and stuff too, so that's part of it.
It
But
makes sense.
Yeah, it's in that sort of sort of camp. But without having seen 2 or 3 and like the whole overall pantheon of Leprechaun movies, I don't even know where this fits in. Or I should say, well, if you're a fan,
It
you should
doesn't,
just
because in the next movie he's back on Earth, and it's in like I think it starts in the 80s.
And there's just like no reference to this happening.
No.
Wow, that's a bold move. I guess you got to do that though.
And he has like a magic flute in the next one.
What?
You're like, where'd that come from?
I hate this.
Something you should have had all along.
No, there's so much you could do with that though. He could be trying to find something or trying to get something that plays into some weird ancient like niche Celtic legend or something
I'd
like that.
love to see
right?
a flashback to
Yeah.
him like in a castle and stuff, and like he's
Yeah.
in the dungeon and the castle gets like ransacked and like they're taking his treasure and stuff. Like, what's in this? Oh no! And the leprechaun gets out.
The leprechaun's loose. Exactly.
You have someone trying to
Yeah.
reclaim their castle, fend off the attackers, while also having to deal with this leprechaun.
Yeah.
Now that's a movie.
It's alive!
there's so much you can do. Like rich guy has like a collection of old treasure, and that's hey, my gold's part of that, right? Or even if like he's been trapped for like a long time, that gold could have been used in like different places, and it's like, why are you like climbing that skyscraper and like tearing things out? It's like, it's me gold, and it's like freaking out, right?
It's a reverse King Kong with little guys climbing a skyscraper.
That isn't the part that I wanted to emphasize, but I like it. No, just like weird stuff where it's like, why would you need like why are you going to get this particular thing? What's the significance? And it's like 700 years ago, someone melted down me gold and made this bootleg shit, and I'm taking it from you now, right? There could be you could do a whole thing here.
No, there's lots of ways you can spread this.
This barbecue's only just begun.
There's obvious attempts here to be like just straight funny. Like Harold, I think his name is, the assistant. He gets like hit in the face, and it becomes like a big flat fake head,
like a
thing.
straight out of Ernest type thing.
Yeah, it's like a super cartoony, like almost out of place, but almost not, given some of the other things that happen. So I'm like, this is outlandish, this is weird.
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned that. That is definitely a turning point almost, because nothing else exactly like that happens in the rest of the movie. Like, he crushes a guy flat with a big box, and you don't even get any blood, let alone a pancake.
You don't see him.
Oh, smashing, simply smashing Foley.
So it's weird. It's a weird choice. I think it fits with the aesthetic of like the weird big spider, the scorpion man, and some of the cross-dressing, mind-controlled metal dude. So like some of that's weird and stuff, but not quite like, like a steamroller goes over and he's flat, like that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Nothing like that. I love a line when he's big. He gets, gets blown up, and he goes, "Where are you, short ass?"
Where are you, short ass?
"Where are you, short ass?" is hysterical.
Amazing.
Coming from a leprechaun.
Yes.
And then there's like some weird aesthetic humor where I'm like, when they finally type in his password, which is wizard, which is so bullshit that they could even guess his password.
So dumb.
Whoever goes like, my password is obviously something I mentioned about myself in passing.
Yes.
Never. So that, if you take that as humor, but when they type it in, the font choice for the word wizard, did you catch that?
Oh, is it awful?
It's
what
like,
is it?
what is this? You're on like a military ship, and you're typing in like graffiti print. Like, what is that?
It looks like a weird Flash page from like 1996. It's very strange. Very, very strange. A lot of strange choices overall.
Well, even just our one-armed Doctor Man being like a Dalek, just driving around, like that's a goofy, funny choice that was obviously made a thing. Like, because he like pounds his own control panel and like short circuits himself twice.
And that is what I
He's a scientist. You'd think he'd be like, I don't pound my own control panel.
Yeah, so earlier I asked you, like, what did you think was funny? Because there are a lot of jokes, and you just brought, like, a flood of them back, where he, like, says some weird stuff. It's like Austin Powers type, type humor, where he's like, I'm going to blah, 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 to do myself, like some, do, what does he say? Do what for? No, for what? Or some weird, there's some weird where he flips a word around.
No one leaves this ship unless I so say. Say so.
And yeah, he pounds his stuff, and it like shorts him out. He's like messing up and all that stuff. It's very, very like tonally asymmetrical with the other things that happen here.
But I do like that there's an inverse, like a reflected shot of his backside where it's a prosthetic, and you can see more through his body, and you can see things happening.
If I lose any more of my troops, your ass is grass. If you even got an ass.
That's good.
And I thought that was a level I didn't think they would do, honestly, based on how they skirted other things. Yes.
Agreed.
Because that was like one extra layer beyond, and I was impressed by it. I like that.
Honestly, the sergeant's like head I thought looked good.
No, I like that too.
It seemed like it was like way like deeper in there, like a skull with nothing.
We'll board the shuttlecraft and proceed to target area Delta.
Yeah, you gained a lot by having how poofy his hair is on one side and have it all compressed on the other side. And I like the skin rolling over the metal. They like totally took out one of his eyebrows, so like it looks like damage had happened.
From now on, she's your responsibility.
Sir, yes, sir.
Some of it's like obviously built up and like bad and gross,
Sure.
but still like while he's whipping around, you just have this weird it like sells that it's like
an
I
exposed
agree. Skull thing.
I like that. I like his
okay,
story
dog.
of like how he saved a soldier and that soldier is Books, who's like alludes to it a little bit where he says,
if you call this living.
Did he live? I mean, the guy that he carried on his back. Did he live?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he lived. If you call this living.
Yeah, he says that, and then later on he's like, no, you can't kill him. He saved my life.
Books! I'm gonna take him out! Sticks, no! I owe him. He saved my life.
He's gonna kill us.
And like that would be, I say, is the definitive proof that is actually him.
I assume he saved his life some other time.
I would assume he saved his life many times, but
I don't know,
that made me think that he was that soldier.
That makes sense.
In any other situation, like that man trying to kill you, you should do something, and he
Yes.
fought hard to not let him die, but let him kill himself. I don't know.
That fight takes a lot of strange turns. It's a very weird fight to have. Feels like perhaps not like a choreographed like actual thing.
When he hits Books in the face with the nunchucks, and I'm like, oh, he'll be passed out for like at least 10 minutes, but he wasn't gone that long. So, like, what are your final thoughts on this movie? Now that we're in spoilers, you can say what you really think.
I don't know. I'm thinking like it's weird.
Oh, it's definitely a weird movie and a weird situation to be hitting to ask this question.
No, like I don't know what to say. I can't imagine this being worth your time, really, unless you like the Leprechaun, and then you've seen it already, I think.
Yes. I would say this is a great movie, honestly, if you don't like Leprechaun, because it's so on its head not the Leprechaun franchise. If you just like outlandish comedy horror, that's what this is.
True.
Like this is like a sci-fi comedy horror movie. It's not really a Leprechaun movie, because you could replace the Leprechaun with like any alien, like the Q from
he's a 5-dimensional imp.
Yeah.
Like he's just not the Leprechaun.
He could be anything. He could be a genie. Like it doesn't really matter.
Right.
Leprechaun itself, because the gold even takes a real backseat. He barely looks for it, and like in other things, he knows exactly where it is. It's in your stomach. I know where it is. And this he's like give me my gold back. Give me the princess.
They shrunk it.
What have they done to me, gold?
This is it? We've spent all this time searching for pebbles.
They've shrunk it down to nothing.
No, yeah, I think if you like you mentioned before, Dracula 3000, other sci-fi comedy, like other things with that tone, like it's like, is that cardboard? What's happening? Oh, it's space, and and especially to be thrown into the fourth part, right? That alone, because like you say, not knowing anything, you can imagine, perhaps, is that what he always does?
What's wrong?
Shoot. Is that what he always says?
Yeah, it didn't even need to be called Leprechaun 4. It could have just been called Leprechaun in Space, because it has nothing to do with anything else.
It's like an Elseworld, meanwhile thing. Yeah,
it doesn't trail back to it. Doesn't pick up from. It's its own thing.
Yeah.
It's the easiest one to jump into, really, because honestly, all of them are pretty easy. None of them are that much reliant upon anything else.
What are you talking about? I could have anyone I want. I'm beautiful.
There was a scene that I liked, which I had no place to work into our conversation. It's really dumb. It's just the Leprechaun walking down like a tiny corridor. I think it's the same one they reuse later when the Spider-Man is snatching the pants off of the Doctor. It's like a Dutch angle, and it's playing like a weird Irishy type sounding song, and he's humming or singing it or doing something, and he's just like walking down. And I had a brief flash of like, that's what I want. That's what I want this to feel like the whole time. That sort of thing.
There's a bit where she gets covered in acid, and she's like,
God.
Acid!
It's burning!
And it's just water. It's on the ground, and like while she's saying acid, she's like putting her hand into it more, and then like quick, help her out, and they like take her bulletproof vest off, and then like the other dude like just dumps a little bit of water on her, and she's fine.
Yeah.
That's the level of thinking that went into this movie.
That was the classic scene of like Aliens, right? When he's like, get his armor off, it's burning through.
Yeah.
Oh, no. But yeah, it's just like, I'm wetter.
Well, in this, it was like, we got a pretty girl. What do you have this big bulky thing on? Take that off her.
Strip.
get her wet. Later on, snatch her pants. Perfect. We're good. That's what this movie is.
The snatching your pants thing was really above and beyond for me. I was like, that's like, it's one thing to be lazy and be like, when she shows you her tits, she's wants to kill you. Like, that's dumb. But yes, to concoct things like that just to get them. Like, just be like, oh, we have to decontaminate you. We have to take off things. Just do that.
Yeah.
Why invent new, worse reasons to do these things?
Because this movie's fantastic.
Bullshit!
Did you like how later she's like, who's, you know, the whole time she's like, I don't know how to put on this armor. I don't want to do any of this stuff. And then she's like, dun 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 dun, has like a gun and is doing like the pose like a commando and all that stuff.
That's her karate kicking in.
That's that latent karate.
There's a weird line where the one guy goes to the other guy, he goes, you gotta forgive him. He's not used to putting ladies' clothes on.
Oh, do you mind, please?
Excuse me. Gentle. See, the problem my friend is having, he's never had to put clothes on a woman before.
Oh, as you were, Sticks. Thank you.
And I was like, is that are you supposed to be insulting him with that? What does that mean? That he's all his talents go into taking them off.
Yeah, he's
like, It didn't seem like that line landed the way he intended it.
No, it's like he's just a horn dog. He's no good. He's usually just peeling the clothes off. He lets you put them back on yourself.
That sounds fair.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. It's great.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
If you want to support the show, head over to cannibalvideo.com, pick up some merch.
And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's something.
Whatever.
Fuck these motherfuckers.
Oh, the pain!
Cannibal Video has everything you need. A wide array of VHS and DVDs. We ate the competition.